Good morning, YouTube. This is Crypto Man bringing you another video about what's going on in the current world of us. Let's see what we got going on. The first thing we got going on right here, I'm just going to do a brief discussion about the IRS. So the IRS is expected to possibly lay off up to 15,000 employees that can possibly be terminated as early as next week. But the reason for the termination is, the Trump administration, they're trying to cut costs, cut government spending. So, but what I have read is they're not actually cutting employees that has a job directly related to tax filings. So your tax returns should be okay for this tax season. But it also can have a domino effect of a lot of other things as far as the IRS. But me personally, I'm not a fan of the IRS for my own reasonings. But hey, we're gonna trust the administration and let them do their job. But one thing I have noticed on some big news stations is about the Doge, Department of Government Efficiency, is getting access to some of the IRS systems. So there's a big concern about them getting access to people's personal information. But what people don't understand is if the Trump administration want to audit the IRS, they have to get access to these systems which contains people's personal information. So if you're so concerned, I don't understand why people are so concerned about them getting access to the information. I mean, the government already know everything about you anyways. So what you should be more concerned about, you should be concerned about your family members knowing your personal information, your mom knowing your personal information, your cousins, your brothers, your fathers. They the ones who you need to be protecting your information from. Because I'm pretty sure the government's not going to use your social security number for anything malicious. And most people that's complaining, you 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 probably got bad credit anyway, so you can use the social if you want to. You won't get nothing. So, well, good luck with using some people's social. So I doubt they want to get access to these systems to do anything malicious. So I don't understand the big concern with most people. I understand people don't want Elon Musk and access to the information, saying he's not an elected official or whatever. But Trump can make him an elected official if he want to. So and more concerns about, oh, he don't have the security clearance. He actually does have a security clearance. So you can't hire Elon Musk for a position where he can possibly get access to your information. Just like anybody, you can get a high school student fresh out of high school, go to college, he can get a security clearance to get access to your personal information. So anybody can get a security clearance if they're cleared. So I don't see the big concern. And the next thing I want to discuss, we got the DC housing market crash, which apparently is related to all the layoffs in DC. But one thing I understand, like the DC housing market is not necessarily crashing. So if you think housing price is just going to crash down to a price where you can actually afford it, like you're going to be proven wrong. Oh, no, the housing market is not going to crash in DC, and there's no crash in DC. Just because you see a lot of houses for sale, that does not equate to a housing crash. A housing crash is when real estate prices actually drop. Even if the DC prices drop 20%, most people still not going to be able to afford to live in DC, and the prices are still overpriced. So you'll never see 2019, 2020 prices in the housing market anywhere. So I know a lot of people celebrate, oh, the DC market is crashing. They celebrate. First of all, most people still won't be able to afford to buy a house in DC regardless. So it's it's nothing to celebrate. Is what I'm saying. There's nothing to celebrate about a fake market crash. The market is not crashing. So 2020 was the last time that housing prices were affordable, and the houses would never get to 2020 prices again. Like for example, I see people In 2020, when I bought my house, the real estate market was extremely quiet. You didn't hear a lot of people out here yelling, "Oh, go buy a house! You should buy a house. The housing prices are decent. Go buy a house. Go buy a house." I didn't hear none of this in 2020 when I bought my house. I felt like I was house shopping by myself. It was quiet. I didn't have to bid against people. I didn't have to offer over asking price. It was an easy purchase. But now, when the real estate market is up, interest rates is up, prices is double. Now you have all these gurus online, real estate agents. Oh, you still should buy a house. Oh, it's always a good time to buy a house. Don't let people tell you not to buy a house. Like, no, right now is the worst time to buy a house, especially with the interest rates. So you can forget about housing prices dropping. The housing prices are not going to drop. By next year, you might get a measly 10% drop, and you're still not going to be able to afford to buy a house. And whenever they decide to drop their interest rates into a reasonable rate, most people are not going to be able to afford a house. You're going to be too broke to afford a house. From this year and next year, with inflation, you're just getting more and more broke every month. By the time the prices come down or interest rates come down, you won't be able to afford a house. So you might as well just stay where you stay and keep renting. Well, that's one thing about these real estate agents and real estate gurus. They even scare you about it. They either scare you about a market crash, or they tell you to continue to try to buy a house. Like, no, don't buy a house right now. Bad time. But that's all I got to say about the housing market. But what we're about to do now, we're about to move into crypto. So just had to get that out the way. But let's talk about crypto. So right now we got Ethereum. Right now Ethereum is holding pretty well. Uh, we're still in a little dip, but right now it's looking like we're holding pretty good to the upside. I believe we already seen the bottom. So I honestly think the bottom is already in. This right here, this dip right here, this little pin drop right here, that was the dip on Ethereum. So right now I specifically invest in AI coins. So I'm gonna go over a couple of coins today, what I'm invested in, and I stick to my low cap AI coins because I feel like they can give the biggest reward, uh, uh, more growth. So that's why I stick to on my channel. No buying Solana, no XRP talk. All those are too big of caps for me to look at. So the first one I want to talk about is ChainPal. So ChainPal AI is a custom sniper bot. So basically, it's a Telegram bot. There you can see indicators. You can also find alpha on multiple tokens on the chain. You can look at the volume, and you can also look at the ROI on wallets, how ROI wallets, and also volume trends. So this one coin that I am invested in, clearly I'm a small timer, so I'm not getting paid to talk about these coins. I mean, they're so cheap right now. Anybody can buy these coins and make decent money, being that Ethereum is bottomed out. So ChainPal, CPAL. I'm not going to do too much digging into it, but do your research. And also, how I look at my coins, I go to debtscreener.com. And Debt Screener, you have all your information about the coin. You can see how much liquidity is available. And you also see the market cap. You can see the volume for the day. And it also has the chart. You look at the daily chart, 4-hour chart, look at the 5-minute chart, just to get an idea of where the price is at. So right now you can see crypto across the board is in a massive dip. But we all know dips don't stay dipped for long. So right now it's looking like it's going to make its next leg up. ChainPal, this thing reached a high of around $15 million market cap. Right now you can catch it down at a 3 million market cap right now. and I know where this thing is going. So soon as Ethereum pick it back up, where soon as all the big dogs buy their Ethereum and stop suppressing the price, we'll see a lot of growth on this chain pile. And another one I want to talk about is ZK AI. It's basically a AI firewall. So this team I've been following for a minute. I own some of this. So they got some good stuff going on. And they're pretty much an AI firewall integration. So it provides a massive layer for AI applications, prevent unauthorized access and safeguarding users' privacy by filtering sensitive data. So, but they are the first movers. They're the first ones who's doing an AI firewall. So this definitely worth looking into. And right now, they're sitting at a roughly a $5 million market cap. As you can see, chart a nice little dip, looking like it's recovering. So it's definitely a good coin to look at. So if you really want to get serious on this game, you got to do your research on these low caps. So if you got under $1,000 to invest in crypto, you definitely should be looking at one of these, ZKAI or ChainPal. Or you can also look at some of the other AI coins that I mentioned in my last video. So right now, I know Ethereum is holding pretty good for the month. So we'll see. We'll see what tomorrow holds. We'll see what the Trump administration has got going on, because that right there has been having an effect on the crypto market. So right now the market is still in an emotional state, but overall I think we'll be good over the next 2 months. Everything's going to be looking better. But that's all I got for you today. And Crypto Main out.